This is Minecraft. Now, you're not on the wrong channel, don't click off just yet, let me explain. So every so often, a Minecraft modder comes up with an idea where I think, I don't know why you're doing this. For example, somebody came up with effectively Git for Minecraft world, so you can revert to older iterations of the world. I didn't make a video on this at the time, but the dev's video is very good, so go and check that out. More recently though, and something people have been talking quite a bit about, is a Wayland Compositor in Minecraft. Yes, I am being 100% serious here. This is not a virtual machine. This is running the actual apps on your system. Much like with the Ratty terminal, you might be asking, why? By the end of this video, I still won't have an answer for you, but what I can say is that it is really, really cool. So let's go and give it a shot. If we go and press V, that opens the application launcher. If I search for Alacrity for a terminal, we now have a terminal window in our hotbar. If we place the window, there we go, we now have Alacrity. But what can we do with it? So by default, we can go and use mouse control. So I can go and highlight the text. It obviously is a bit awkward doing this in 3D space, but it does work. If we go and grab the edge of a window, we can go and resize it. We can do diagonals as well. Again, very awkward to do in 3D space. Also, if we grab the bar up here, we can go and move it. Do note that you can do this and place it well outside your range, so just be careful about doing that. Now, if you accidentally do that and you don't want to go and chase the window down, if you just go and replace the window, it will come back to where it was supposed to be. That window is no longer there because you can only have one instance of one window at a time. That doesn't mean one instance of an application. If we go and open up another version of Alacrity, now we have a second window item. This is a separate version of Alacrity. This can be done whatever you want with it. If we go and close this one, that is closed independently of the main one. So they are separate windows, but one window per window item. Okay, that's cool. We can make a window, we can move a window, but we can't exactly type because we're playing a game right now, so our keyboard input is going to the game. If we press G on a window, that takes us into keyboard capture mode. And yes, if you are still unsure, this is an actual terminal. We can run actual terminal things in here. It works exactly like Alacrity would expect. Obviously, again, in the 3D space, the rendering is a bit funky, but it's working exactly like Alacrity normally would. From here, pressing escape will take us out of keyboard capture mode. As you notice up in the top right hand corner, it tells you're in keyboard capture mode. It also tells you the key to get out of that mode. So if for some reason you forget which mode you're in, you can easily see it. But what if you need to use escape in an application? For example, you are in NVim and you want to press escape to do whatever you want to do in NVim. Well, we can't press escape. What we do for that is go into capture mode with a different binding, that is Alt-Q. Now we can press escape as much as we want, and that's totally fine. Pressing Alt-Q again takes us out of that mode. You might be wondering, how do we do Alt-Q and escape at the same time? Give up. But this is just a terminal, and that's not the only thing you can do on Wayland. Let's go and open up a web browser. Chromium. From here, again, if we press G, we can start typing as you would normally expect, but let's just go and find some cat pictures. There we go. Let's go and open that in a new tab, okay? Here's what we can do from here. We can actually drag this tab out of the window, and if we drop it, it actually becomes a new window. Along with that, if instead we want to go and open this up in a new window, that also creates a new window item. So all of this stuff that you normally expect to be working in a regular compositor mostly is fine. Now, I've not tested the extremes of every possible thing you can do, but the normal stuff seems to be there. And yes, in case you are wondering, audio streams from applications. At the KDE Conference Academy back in 2024, this talk took place. also work totally fine. Let me show you something I did not expect to work. Let's go and open up GIMP. Now, if an application has multiple windows, it will go and open those up separately. So let's go and place that one, get rid of this, and then we can go and place that. And now we have our GIMP window. But what can we do with this? Here, I've opened a file manager. And as you might expect from being able to drag a tab out of a window, if we drag a file over to this, it actually drags the file. Honestly, everything I've shown you so far, I think is super, super cool. Yes, this is not the most productive Wayland Compositor, and especially with the way that I'm placing these windows, right? This is not the most productive way to do it. Again, if you ever want to go and replace a window, let's say we want to replace the browser here. If we go and place it again, we can go and do that. Let's go and take this one as well, put that one up there, and let's say that file manager, I'll put it, I don't know, here. So we can, again, go and rearrange things. Obviously, the angle might be a bit weird, but you cannot change the angle. If you want to change the angle, this is based on the direction that you are looking. So if you wanted this to be, you know, more of a straight with the ground, we can go and fly up to this point and then, you know, do it like that. But having it like this also is relatively convenient when you want to place things above you, right? It gives you an angle that makes sense from the direction you're looking at. All of this I've been showing you, I guess, has been in what you might call the world mode, I guess. If we press B, this takes us into the compositor mode, the window manager mode. From here, we basically have a tabbing interface for all of our applications. If you want to go and more easily use something, this is a more traditional way to interact with these windows. There are limitations to what you can do here. I don't know how much of this is a limitation of the Minecraft modding interface and how much is a limitation of the mod itself. We can't go and like rearrange the tabs. I have a feeling that might just be a UI limitation in Minecraft. You can't go and resize in this interface, but there is the resize button at the top here. It looks like it doesn't do anything when you press it, but if we hold the mouse down and then move the mouse, now we can go and resize it. It's a little bit awkward, but once you get used to it, it mostly makes sense. As for the grab button, if we hold this down, it then puts the window into our hand and lets us go and move it wherever we want to. When we let go of our cursor, then the window is placed there. Again, pressing B takes us back into that. We also have 3 buttons along the side. The first one is the hide button. This is a bit of a weird button. So what it does is hides the window in the overworld, but pressing it again in the interface doesn't actually do anything. If you want to bring that window back, what you do is just replace the window. I don't really know why it's like that. I feel like that's a bug. That's a bit of a weird interaction. But maybe there is maybe there is a reason behind the scenes why it's like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. It would make more sense if you click the button, it hides it in the overworld, you click it again, it brings it back to where it previously was. The bottom button here is the give window item button. Now, normally that's not going to make much sense. Now we just have 2 iterations of that window. These can't be placed independently, right? They are still the exact same window item. But if we were to do something like this. Oh no, I don't have my window items anymore. I died or something took the... whatever happened that you managed to lose the item, if we go back into here and then give window item, now we can keep using the item, using the window, as we previously were. So it's basically a way to recover the windows if you lose the item. Now, I skipped over the middle button for a very, very good reason. This is the pin button. This is the picture-in-picture mode. So, if you just want to have a window always on your screen, I believe, yeah, we can type by just pressing G. If you want something like that always there, that can be done. What could you do with this? Well, you probably have an idea. Frankly, I don't even need to address what's going on right now. You guys aren't paying attention anyway, so, yes, you You could just have Subway Surfers gameplay on in the background all of the time. Now, a more useful use for this would be playing a tutorial or something else that you actually want to see. But yes, you could do this. If we go and try to pin another window, it replaces the window we currently have there. Let's go and pause that one. And there we go. Now, I have no reason to do this because I am not insane, but this basically has everything I would need to go and edit video in this environment. Now, it's going to be the worst possible experience in editing video. Sometimes with Kdenlive, I can't actually place this window down. I'm not actually sure why. It's a little bit strange. If we go into the interface, it works totally fine. So probably just a bug with some cute rendering. Not totally sure. But yes, I could go and edit video here and hate my life for it and do it in the most inefficient way possible. But I have drag and drop. I can open up windows from here. Let's go to open. We can go and open up our file browser. That works totally fine. I'm not going to, but I could. And yes, you can even do something I had zero expectation of working. You can play a video game in Minecraft. I have a controller plugged in, okay? Understand this. We can play with a controller. Everything works as expected. I think I have discovered the worst possible way to emulate any video game. Here we have the developer showing off some Osu gameplay inside of this. Now, are you gonna be good at the game like this? Probably not. Probably gonna be your worst gameplay ever. But you can. So yes, theoretically, you could play Minecraft inside of Minecraft. But whilst I have been singing the praises of this, it does have some very clear limitations. Firstly, all the windows I've been opening here have been Wayland native windows. This does not support X-Wayland. Now, theoretically, you could possibly use X-Wayland Satellite. I've been trying it. I've not been able to get it to work, so there might be some configuration that needs to be done. If you do need to open up an X11 window, you could do something like opening GameScope and then opening the window in that, or using a LabWC, or one of the other compositors that you embed inside this compositor, because a Wayland compositor can typically be opened as a Wayland client, as a Wayland window. Also, this is not going to work if you play Minecraft with the Flatpak. That's just due to the Flatpak sandboxing. It should be very obvious why that's not going to work. Now, maybe if you mess with the permissions, you could possibly get it to work, but you're much better off just using an unsandboxed version. Also, in the cases of applications that do not generate client-side decorations, like Kdenlive here, there are some things that can be a little bit awkward, like closing the window. There is no close button here. Thankfully, an application like this does have quit down here and does have a binding for it, but if the application doesn't obviously have that, it can be a bit weird. Another application that's like this is MPV. MPV, it will make the window, and we can close it by, I meant to be focused on that, by pressing Q on it. But there are going to be things where that's not a case, and then closing those is very, very difficult. In that case, your best bet would be to close it from a terminal, which is awkward, but it does work. Also, another part of why the Flatpaks can be a little bit weird, this does require a quite up-to-date glibc. I'm not really sure which version is the minimum, but I have spoken to people who've been testing this, and that does seem to be a recurring problem. I know that some of you might be asking, could I use this on a server? The answer to that is yes, but this is a client-side mod, so it could be installed on a server, and individuals on the server could interact with their own windows, but other people on the server aren't going to be able to see your windows. This is just a whole nother problem unto itself. Then you need to do like video streaming across a server, and That's not being done. That is a very difficult problem. Probably could be done with some sort of remote desktop stuff, but not at all being done by the mod, at least at this stage. As for use with VR mods, because I know some people are going to think, oh, I can work in VR doing this. You probably can. It's not something the dev has actively gone to go and support, but it's probably gonna be fine? Maybe? Just go and test it for yourself. As with shader use alongside this, it's probably going to break the window, so test it, but probably avoid using shaders. If you'd like to go and use this yourself, there are a few requirements. Firstly, obviously you've got to be on Linux. This is Wayland. It's only on Linux. Right now, it's only supporting the latest version as a recording, that is 26.1.2. You will need to use the Fabric mod loader. If you don't know how to install that, go to YouTube and look it up. It's pretty much just download the universal jar, run the jar, installs location, and then you're good to go. And then you can just put the mod in the mod folder. Also, you need XKB Common Library 1.11.0 or later. You probably have this installed. And the XKB Common Tools XKB CLI. Again, you probably have this already installed. Let me just say that I absolutely adore stuff like this. Yes, it is not the most productive thing out there. Yes, it's kind of a waste of time. And yes, no one's gonna actively daily drive this. But I cannot fault someone for doing something super cool like this. So go support the developer. If you like the project, go check it out. If you do check it out and you find any bugs, be sure to go and report them. There's already a couple of reports on here. And if you want to help out, go help out with the project as well. I think this is really cool, but let me know your thoughts down below. Have you tried it out? Are you going to go and try it out? Do you just think it's dumb and you have no idea why this was made? I would love to know. So let me know your thoughts down below. If you liked the video, go and subscribe as well. And if you really liked the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, check out the Patreon subscribers, Daily Bearer Pay, linked in the description down below. That's going to be it for me, and I am a dwarf.